So I am fixing drinks even though she is not yet here.
Yes.
Where she's coming
You're
from.
getting ready.
Bye.
Bye.
Sally! Darling!
Come in. How are you?
Couldn't be better. So this is it? It's very grand.
Oh, do you think so?
Very. How long have you had it?
6 weeks. It's Claire Henley's. Claire's on the road with the Lens.
I don't know how that girl gets the break that she does. I was thinking about your show. Did
Okay, I'm
get
sorry, I
my
have to stop you.
Yeah, the coat.
Yeah.
We need the jacket.
Just pretend.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna really hurry.
I
Okay.
am.
6 weeks.
Here. Okay, start over. Oh no, I lost my... how do I do this?
Just make it with your mouth.
I don't know how to work my phone. Ding dong!
Sally! Darling!
Come in. How are you?
Couldn't be better. So this is it? It's very grand.
Do you think so?
Very. How long have you had it?
6 weeks. It's Claire Henley's. Claire's on the road with the Lens.
I don't know how that girl gets the break she does. I was thinking about your show. Did you get my message opening night?
Yes, I didn't know where to thank you. You were jumping around, so...
Darling, I know. Split weeks and one night stands. It's heaven to be through. How long have you run, actually?
5 days.
Did you get any notices?
A couple of mentions.
Darling, it's the cutest place I ever saw in all my life. Where do you look out?
Onto the summer garden with the Bon Chissant, that French restaurant next door.
What's that like?
Lovely, but terribly expensive. You know, no menu. The man just comes and suggests.
Put yourself right next door to temptation, eh? Or is it for the boyfriends when they come to take you out? Where shall we eat? How about that place next door? Okay. I know. I once thought of taking an apartment over the colony myself. What are you paying Claire for this?
125.
Have you gotten another job?
No.
No, and there's nothing in the offing this late in the season for any of us.
I know, but I still have a little money left over from that radio serial I did. And it's when you're out of work that you need a place. When you're in work.
You live at Sardi's if you can get in. Yes, but all the same. What did you want to move for anyway?
I was tired of a hotel room, and there were reasons.
What?
Not now. Have a drink. Was it wonderful playing with Henry Atherton? I've always had the most terrific thing about him. You used to have too.
Did I? Well, it's gone now if I did. He isn't interested in anything a day over 20. And it's good to be back in New York. By the way, I've asked someone to call for me here. Is that all right?
Of course. Who is it?
A man called Bill Page.
An actor?
No, just a man. At least he used to be. He's a soldier now. He's at camp something or other up at the Hudson. Got a weekend pass starting this afternoon. I left a message at my hotel telling him to come here and pick me up.
What's he like?
He's sweet, and he's mine.
I didn't mean...
I know, darling, but I thought I'd tell you. I've known him for ages. He used to live in Pittsburgh, and whenever I played there, we always had a little something. Though, when I say whenever, I think it was actually only twice. I'd lost sight of him for years, and then we were in Detroit about 6 weeks ago, and he turned up again. He was stationed somewhere near and came to see the show. Now he's moved here.
And are you still having a gay little something?
Well, we did in Detroit.
Are you in love with him?
No, darling, not a bit. But he's attractive, only he's the sort of reserved kind. You never know what he's thinking or get any further with him.
It doesn't sound as though you had much further left to get. By the way, what's happened to the commander?
Okay, good.
I don't know how to, get up. There are 2 points when I'm getting up and going to the window. Should I, go this way so the audience can see my body
Yes.
and then turn?
Yeah, for that point, you're doesn't sound as though there was much further left for you to get. And then you have a new thought in your mind, because remember, you're thinking about your own love story that you want to tell Olive, and you're trying to think of how to get to the place where you can talk about it, because you're afraid to talk to her, you don't want to just bring it up. But so that's in your mind, that you want to share your own love story. So you ask her about her love story. So that's in your mind. So the audience needs to see your face as you stand up. by the way, what's happened to the commander? Like, and just like show it on your face that like you're thinking about love and like, because she's basically talking about sex and you're thinking about love right now. So yeah, you stand and that's why you stand, to make that point that you're like transitioning in your mind and that's what you're thinking about. Moving behind the couch. So yeah, you'll just stand. By the way, what's happened to the commander? Like however it feels comfortable for you to stand and move behind the couch and like maybe like lean over so you're gonna like talk to her. But that's like, yeah, that's in the next unit. So a couple more notes for this one. Good job with the code and everything.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that worked, yeah. It was fine. Let me think. That moment, like, I'm seeing it more from you guys today, but it has to be like, there has to be just a little bit more tension. Like, when you're talking about your acting jobs, like, and your shows and everything, especially, how long did you run? Because, like, from what I understand, like, the longer you run, the better the show it is, the better of a show it is. If you run longer, that's because more people want to come. So you're, like, comparing in your mind to your own shows, like, oh, did she run longer than mine? And did you get any notices? Especially, like, I could especially see that, like, there's, like, the audience may not understand why you would be asking in a way that's, like, not just, like, casually asking. You're just, like, did you get any notices? Like, did you get any more notices than I did? Or, like, you know, like, that's what you're thinking of. But they should, like, see that because it becomes clear throughout the play that actresses are competitive. And then when you're like a couple of mentions, Jenna, you did a really good job with your face there. Like, I might need to see a little bit more though, because you'll be like your face will be toward the audience. A couple of mentions, and then like right after that, there's like a pause. Like you don't start your next line until she comes back. So there's like kind of an awkward pause there. Yeah. So don't say your next line, darling. It's the cutest place I ever saw in all my life, because then she comes back, and you just change the subject because you don't want to like.
So there should be a moment where she's like staring off like a little bit, you know,
a couple of mentions,
like awkwardly standing there, like I don't want to go back into the room where she's in during this conversation, right?
Yeah, you're like just finishing up with the coat, but a couple of mentions like, there's just like a little pause and like you're probably thinking like, trying to figure out like how many notices did she get, you know, like, and you're just like, I don't know if I don't want to talk about this. But like, then it doesn't have to be like a super long pause, but just like a moment, and then don't start your line until she gets all the way back to you, and then you just like change your face completely, just like let it be seen that you're like, oh darling, it's just the cutest place, like you want to change the subject, and be after that.
During that moment, should we like, since there are walls here, should we like kind of be looking at each other and like thinking, because we're thinking about the other person, should we be looking towards each other?
Yeah, you can be. That would work. I think that would be good. Yeah, that would be good to show the audience like what you're thinking about. Good job with the window scene. I'm just gonna make a decision and cut part of your line, Olive. And the moment when you say, I was tired of a hotel room, and there were reasons, like, it should be like really obvious that like there's something you want to say but you're not sharing it. There were reasons, like I want to like see it in your face if you're looking at the audience. I think like I couldn't really see that well because the pillar was in the way.
I know.
But so like just for now, like step a little more so I can see. Well, actually, I'll just move.
When I say that, I'm standing here, and should I kind of like look at her like I want her to pick up on what I'm saying, or is it just totally reflective, but in my mind I'm thinking maybe she'll pick up?
It's like totally reflective because it's like there were reasons, because you're thinking about your own story right now. Like,
oh, so I'm not trying to get her to ask about it?
No, because you don't want her to ask about it right now. Like you want to change the subject. Like you're trying to decide in your mind whether you should tell her or not, basically.
I'm pretty sure you can further back.
Yeah, you are,
So
but that's
would be
okay.
like making the drinks.
And Olive, you're like, what? Like, you're interested in gossip, so you want to know. So, but So you're like, not now, have another drink. So you're like, and then you quickly think of, was it wonderful playing with Henry Atherton? Because you're trying to change the subject. And like Olive obviously takes the bait for changing the subject. Because she was talking about herself. Okay, and then like he's sweet and he's mine. Like make that more like you're just talking about he's sweet
okay.
and he's mine.
Like, I don't know if I should be mean or if you just want me to, like, get in her face. Like, I don't know.
You're like kind of half joking, but like you do like, I mean she's your friend, but she's like really attractive. Like you don't want her to like, and you know that guys like her, so you don't want, you like want to make sure that this is your territory.
Yeah.
You don't want her to infringe upon it, like
Okay.
because you know in your mind that she's not gonna try to do that, but like you don't want her to, you basically don't want anything like that to happen. Okay, when you say gay little something, like I want, like you're doing a good job with that line and what I told you to do with it, but I want like it to be like a little bit more dramatic because you guys are talking about sex, but it's like not kosher to talk about sex, especially for women. So like you're like obviously talking about it, but like it's like a euphemism basically. So just like make it more dramatic. Like I can't think of an example right now, but like we have a lot of euphemisms for sex that we like say dramatically when we say them. So I'll try to think of one later.
No, I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay,
Together.
moving on. And then Sally, obviously, what did you say?
I'm just like, keep it together, Jen.
Wake up today.
We're just.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and if you're still having a deal with something, like just say that, however, this the exact same way that she says that line. Yeah. So. And then, are you in love with him? Like, that's kind of the point, Jenna, when you like maybe start thinking about love, because you're like, you do want to know about it. And like your mind is on love, Olive's mind is on sex. So you're just like, are you in love with him? Like you ask the question, like you're serious about it, like you want to know the answer, and Olive, you're just like, no, of course not. Like, why would I be in love with him?
What? What is love?
Ding dong.
Sally! Darling!
Come in, how are you?
Couldn't be better.
Okay,
Sorry, that's super awkward.
Jana, when you're like fixing the drinks, maybe you could be like, you're like getting them ready, but you're like, you know someone's coming, so maybe you can be looking toward the door, and then like, it should be like a moment you like realize you know who's coming and you're excited to see her, so you're like happy when the doorbell rings and you just like go, yeah. And then when you see each other, it's been a while since you've seen each other, so be excited, Sally, darling! Like, you're happy to see one another because you haven't seen each other in a while, like Olive's been out of New York and everything. So yeah, do that again from just what Halloween told her. Don't worry about the awkwardness of the coat right now, it'll be fine.
Awkward.
Okay. Are you actually pouring water? Is there already water?
Yeah.
Okay. Ding dong.
Sally! Darling!
Come in, how are you?
Couldn't be better. So, this is it? It's very grand.
Oh, do you think so?
Very. How long have you had it?
Okay, for when you say so, this is it. Like, you take more of like a, you're looking around like, so, this is it. Like, it's obvious you're like looking at the apartment. That'll make it obvious that it's like a new apartment that you haven't seen yet. And you can like, so this is it. And you can like take a little pause if you want to look around. It's very grand. So,
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to just say that again?
yeah. Start from there.
Couldn't be better. So, this is it? It's very grand.
Do you think so?
Very. How long have you had it?
6 weeks. It's Claire Henley's. Claire's on the road with the lens.
I don't know how that girl gets the break she does. I was sick about your show. Did you get my message opening night?
Yes, I didn't know where to thank you. You were jumping around, so.
Darling, I know. Split weeks and one night stands. It's heaven to be through. How long did you run, actually?
5 days.
Did you get any notices?
A couple of mentions. Oh.
That was a little too long
Sorry.
of a pause.
I thought I came in after she said her.
No, I have to
No.
wait for you to come back.
Yeah,
before
she waits for you to
Oh,
come
sorry.
back.
Yeah.
But that was really good. Like, I like that. Let's
I
do
felt
that.
the tension more until like.
Yeah.
But
I don't
no,
like felt it.
but the lines beforehand, I think were good.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do that again.
Okay. Do you want me to start at 6 weeks? Because that's when I start
Yeah.
going into the. Okay, I'll
Here,
just do it.
here, I'll just, here. Don't drag the coat on the floor, by the way.
Oh, did I? I didn't even notice.
Well, no, but don't hold it like that, just like hold it
Oh,
your arm or
okay.
something, so you're not like, because it would be longer, so you would be good, yeah, just like that, good.
6 weeks. It's Claire Henry's. Claire's on the road with the lens.
I don't know how that girl gets the break she does. I was sick about your show. Did you get my message opening night?
Yes, I didn't know where to thank you. You were jumping around so.
Darling, I know. Split weeks and one night stands. It's heaven to be through. How long did you run, actually?
5 days.
Did you get any notices?
A couple of mentions.
Darling, it's the cutest place I ever saw in all my life. Where do you look out?
Onto the summer garden of the Bon Chissant, that French restaurant next door.
What's that like?
Lovely, but terribly expensive. You know, no menu. The man just comes and suggests.
Put yourself right in sort of temptation, eh? Or is it for the boyfriends when they come to take you out? I know, I once thought of taking an apartment over the colony myself. What are you paying Claire for this?
125.
Have you got another job?
No.
No, and there's still nothing in the offing this late in the season for any of us.
I know, but I still have a little money left over from that radio serial I did. And it's when you're out of work, you need a place to live. When you're in work.
You'll live at Sardi's if you can get in. Yes, but all the same. What did you want to move for anyway?
I was tired of a hotel room, and there were reasons.
What?
Not now. Have a drink. Was it wonderful playing with Henry Atherton? I've always had the most terrific thing about him. You used to have too.
Did I? Well, if I did, it's gone now.
Okay, good. I really like that whole thing.